Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about early termination of tenancy agreements and the tenant fee ban. So what you can charge, what you can't charge, and where you're left once the tenant has vacated. So first of all, you cannot charge any fees whatsoever if the tenant is activating their break clause. So if your tenancy agreement has a break clause in it and the tenant activates that and wishes to give notice and leave early, you can't charge any fees whatsoever. So what can you charge and when can you charge it? So first of all, if a tenant is in a fixed term and let's say that's 12 months and 3 months, 4 months in, they look to go somewhere else and they give you notice. This means ending their fixed term and breaking it. So you can charge, obviously, rent up until either a new tenant is found or their notice period ends. So whichever comes first. So if you found a new tenant, obviously the exiting tenant is only liable for rent up until the day before the new tenant moves in. The other things you can charge for is re-advertising the property. So this may be done either by yourself directly if you're a self-managing landlord, or obviously it can be done via your agent and whatever costs your agent is charging you. Also, you can charge for the additional referencing. So a new tenant moving into the property, you'd obviously be referencing them as well. That would have been an additional cost that you weren't expecting because obviously you'd have expected your tenant to stick out their 12 months. Now, the interesting point here with regards to what you can charge and what you can't charge is when I'm talking about advertising fees and the cost of a letting agent to do that job for you, the letting agent must be able to break down and demonstrate how they've reached the cost that they are charging you. This is in case the tenant at any point questions the fee and wants to know how this amount has been reached. So that will include things like a percentage of the portal's cost that the agent is using. Obviously staff costs, office running costs, everything like that all needs to be able to be broken down into the fee that the agent is charging you and you are then handing over and passing on to the tenant. So just to recap for you, if a tenant is exiting their tenancy early without activating a break clause, you can charge for the cost of reletting, so the advertising costs or an agency cost if they're doing that for you, and the cost of referencing a new tenant. And you can also charge, obviously, the rent up till their notice period ends or a new tenant is found, whichever you agree with the tenant. From that point onwards, really, it's entirely up to you what you agree. If you are quite happy for the tenant to leave and you're not really at any financial loss before a new tenant moves in, then obviously you're not obliged to charge them anything. Again, it's all on a case-by-case basis and how you run your business or work your agency. So I hope that's cleared up just some little bits about the Tenant Fee Ban Act, which I know is still causing people a headache. Thanks very much.